Buenas and half a day. The Committee on Rules meeting is now called to order. For the record, today is Friday, May 24th, 2019, and the time is now 8:40 a.m. The COR Director, Ms. Mary Maravilla, will now call the roll of members.
Chairperson Régine Biscoe.
Buenas, Gaigat.
Legislative Secretary Amanda L. Shelton. Speaker Tina Rose Munoz Barnes. Vice Speaker Talina Cruz Nelson. Senator Kelly Marsh Taitano. Senator Sabina Flores Perez. Senator Clinton E. Rigel. Senator Joe S. San Augustine. Senator Jose Pito Terlahi. Senator Therese M. Terlahi. Senator James C. Moylan.
Present.
Senator Mary Camacho Torres. Madam Chair, you have a quorum.
Sizos Maasi, does the chair hear a motion to excuse members not present?
So moved.
Moved by the Speaker and seconded by Senator Rigel. Any objection?
No objection.
Hearing none, motion carries. We'll now move to the ratification of our COR meeting minutes, so I'll give the members an opportunity to review our minutes from April 18th, 2019. And then we'll entertain motions to ratify the minutes.
Madam Chair, on the motion to accept the minutes from the Thursday, April 18, 2019 Committee on Rules meeting, subject to corrections, if we can move that.
There's
And
been a motion by the Speaker to ratify the COR meeting minutes from April 18th. Do I hear a second? Seconded by Senator Shelton. Any objection?
No objection.
Hearing none, so moved. We'll now move on to core business, the document tracking. And the first item of core business is an update on document tracking by our legislative secretary. And I invite the legislative secretary to provide her report.
Sidus Masi, Madam Chair, and Hafaday, everyone. The Legislative Secretary reports as of today are as follows. Appointments by the Governor. There are 93 appointments submitted by Governor Lulian Guerrero to date. None of the appointments have met their potential due dates. There are 11 appointments that were confirmed during the February 2019 session, 8 appointments confirmed during the March 2019 session, and 21 appointments that were confirmed during the April 2019 session, totaling 40 appointments confirmed. At this time, there is one zone change request, and we have received 4 proposed rules and regulations. 3 of the 4 have had their public hearings. Sidus Masi, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator Shelton. The next item of business is the ratification of referrals. The referrals of bills, resolutions, and appointments are indicated each in their corresponding logs. So I'll now entertain a motion to ratify the referrals of bills.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Moved by our legislative secretary, Senator Shelton. Seconded by Senator Jim Moylan. Any objection?
No objection.
Hearing none, motion carries. And we'll now entertain motions to ratify the referrals of resolutions.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Moved by Senator Shelton. Seconded by Speaker Tina Munoz Barnes. Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. And we'll now accept a motion to ratify the referrals of executive appointments.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Moved by Senator Shelton, seconded by Senator Moylan. Any objection to the referral of executive appointments? Hearing none, motion carries. Members will now move to our session agenda. We'll now move to consideration of items eligible for placement on the session agenda. Committee reports for the following 4 bills have been duly filed with COR. That's Bill 11 by Senator Moylan, Bill 46, Senator Moylan, Bill 59, Senator Kelly Marsh Taitano, Bill 70 as amended, Senator Tello Taitigui, and Bill 34 as amended, Senator Rigel. And I just note for the record that Bill 34 was set aside during our session on March 28th, 2019. The committee reports for the following 4 executive appointments have also been duly filed with COR. That's the appointment of Rita Francas Torres to serve as a member of HRRA, the appointment of Monica Okada to serve as a member of Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority, the appointment of Angelina S. Leon Guerrero to serve as a member of the Government of Guam Retirement Fund Board of Trustees, and the appointment of Maria Wenya Leon Guerrero to serve as a member of HRRA. Our speaker has called us into session on Tuesday, May 28th, 2019, and a draft session agenda has been provided to each of our members here. Are there any motions to place bills in the second reading file? Madam Speaker, you're recognized.
Additional bills. Madam Chair, we're looking at the additional bills not noted by the chair, right?
Yes. Oh, no. These bills were just eligible for placement, so now we'll move to place them onto the second reading file.
So on the motion to place it on the second reading file, as previously noted by you, the 4 bills and the appointments.
So we have to do it one by one.
Oh, one by one? Okay.
So which were the ones that you were going to move?
Uh,
Or does anybody want to move a bill onto the...
You want to go ahead and move your bill, Bill 11? Madam Chair.
Yes, Madam Chair. Make a motion to move Bill 11 onto session floor.
There's been a motion by Senator Moylan to move Bill 11 onto...
Bill 11-35 COR, Madam Chair, for the record, and if the author could please read it.
Thank you. Bill 11-35 COR is an act to create the Expect More Act of 2019 by adding subsection 3133 to Chapter 3, Title 5, Guam Code Annotated, relative to the creation of an agency customer service policy. Madam Chair.
Thank you. There's been a motion to place Bill number 11-35 as introduced by Senator James C. Moylan. Do I hear a second?
I object.
There's been an objection to the placement of Bill 11.
Madam Chair, can I request for reason for objection?
You don't have to state a reason.
Madam Chair, I believe the committee reports were submitted, public hearing was conducted, and respectfully request for the bill to be added.
So there's been a motion by Senator Moylan. We're still lacking a second, and there's been an objection. So we are unable to move forward. Senator Moylan, did you want to add any other bills to the session floor?
Okay, yes, Madam Chair. Bill 4635, COR, as amended by the Committee on Environment, Revenue, and Taxation and Procurement, is an act to amend subsection 5112 of Chapter 51, Title 18, Guam Code Annotated, and to add a new subsection 3130112 to Chapter 30 of Title 11, Guam Code Annotated, relative to increasing the enforcement and collection efforts for lodging facilities who accommodate transit visitors. Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator Moylan. There's been a motion to move Bill 46 as amended by
Please forgive
Senator
me on this
Moylan.
one.
Do I hear a second?
Madam Chair, if I may, I'm going to ask this body right now to, or state for the record that I would just, at this time, object to this bill moving forward. And I'm going to ask the good author to at least give me, as the main author of the original bed and breakfast and lodging facility. Rev and Tax has been out with their enforcement officers, but more importantly, I'm wanting to work closely with the director to compile the data needed based on the success. I want to make sure that as the author of the creation for the bed and breakfast and the industry whereof, I want to make sure that what we're working with the Department of Revenue and Taxation right now, that the compiled data that they have to date will be forward. So at this time, just at this time, I'm going to ask, respectfully object and ask the author to give me at least a couple of months while I get the information from Rev and Tax.
Sejos Masi, Madam Speaker, again, there's been a motion to place Bill 46-35 as amended by Senator Moylan, and there's been an objection. Do I hear a second to place Bill 46? If not, we'll continue on. Senator Moylan?
Madam Chair, I would like to have a motion to place Bill number 59-35 COR into the second reading file.
Sejos Masi, that's Bill number 59 as introduced. Bill number 59-35 COR as introduced. There's been a motion by Senator Kelly Marsh Taitano and a second by Senator Shelton. Any objection to the placement of Bill 59 as introduced? Hearing none, motion carries. Senator Taitano?
I don't have any other bills at this point in time, but I would like to motion, or at least let the body know that we are submitting two other appointment committee reports this morning to COR. So we are working towards getting those in and then having those considered and placed on the floor for consideration of the appointment of Carlos Madrid and Eduardo J. Calvo.
Sejos Masi. Duly noted. And so Carlos Madrid and Jake Calvo. Any other member wish to move or place bills on the second reading file?
Yes, Madam Chair. I'd like to move to place Bill number 70-35 LS on second reading file as amended by the Committee on Environment, Revenue, and Taxation and Procurement, which is an act to add a new Article 5 to Chapter 51 of Division 2, Title 10, Guam Code Annotated, relative to creating a task force to gather information and create goals for policy concerning used oil management.
Sejos Masi, Senator Moylan. Senator Moylan has moved Bill number 70 as amended for placement, and it's been seconded by Senator Clint Rogel. Any objection to Bill number 70? Hearing none, motion carries. Any other motions to place bills in the second reading file? Senator Shelton, you're recognized.
Sejos Masi, Madam Chair, I'd like to note for the record that Bill 13-35 COR did not meet the committee report deadline for the Committee on Rules, but it has been submitted, and I'd like to move it on the floor. It is Bill 13-35 COR as amended by the Committee on Higher Education and the Advancement of Women, Youth, and Senior Citizens, an act to add a new Chapter 32 to Title 9 of the Guam Code Annotated relative to protecting elderly adults from abuse, neglect, and exploitation by providing criminal punishment for those who harm our Manamku and disabled people.
Sejos Masi, Senator Shelton, and duly noted. Any other member wish to be heard?
Yes, Madam Chair. I'd like to, for the record, make a motion that I'll be introducing Bill number 10435 on session floor, which is an act to amend subsections 58104Q, 58105Q, 58105 and
What's the number again?
Bill number 104-35.
LS.
LS, thank you, which is an act to amend subsection 58104Q, subsection 58105, subsection 58116, subsection 58117A, and subsection 58128.3 of Chapter 58, Title 12, Guam Code Annotated, and to add Article 8 to Chapter 26, Title 11, Guam Code Annotated, relative to those U.S. corporations repatriating at least $5 million of their deferred foreign income to Guam, the repatriation tax, to create a repatriate profits fund, its guidelines, and to establish a third-party agent industry on Guam. The committee notes were prepared but not submitted in time, so I'll make the motion on the session floor, Madam Chair.
Sudos Masi, and duly noted, that's Bill 104. So we'll be anticipating that.
Madam
other
Chair-
member-
Oh, Madam Chair, may I ask a question of the author since we're being asked to consider this very last minute? So of the author, I'd like to know if there was the legal review that Gita was waiting upon, I believe, to understand and be able to work with this bill.
Yes, Madam Chair, legal review was completed and submitted to our office via email and will be provided as soon as possible for the body.
Was that to my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, to my understanding, Gita was getting a legal review, which might have been apart from that. So was there a legal review requested by Gita, and then did they receive that one? I just want to understand where all of those are at.
I know we have our legislation review by our side. Gita's review, they do have knowledge of the bill and have agreed to the bill. Their legal review, if pending, I have no knowledge of that. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Sudos Masi for the answers.
Sudos Masi, I'd like to return to Senator Shelton.
Yes, Sitios Masi, Madam Chair. My bill number 13-35, as amended by the Committee on Higher Education and the Advancement of Women, Youth, and Senior Citizens, has been filed with the Committee on Rules, and I would like to move it on the second reading file for this session.
So there's been a motion to place Bill number 13 as
Da-
introduced,
As amended by
as
the committee.
amended. Bill number 13 as amended by the committee by Senator Shelton. Do I hear a second?
Second,
Seconded by Senator Moylan. Any objection to the placement of Bill number 13 as amended? Hearing none, motion carries.
Yes, Senator Pito first. This one right here, sir.
Senator Pito, you're
You're
recognized.
going to move that to the...
To place bill number 3435, COR as amended by the Committee on Economic Development, Agriculture, and Maritime Transportation, Power and Energy Utilities, and Emergency Response. Yeah, this is Clint's bill. No, it's not?
Then, I apologize, Senator Pito. This bill actually was referred back to the committee and it hasn't come back out and received a second committee report. A second committee report has not yet been filed.
Oh, okay.
So we're unable to place.
This is not yours? What's the bill again? Just say bill 4235? Thank you. Madam Chair, I move to place Bill number 4235 to the, is that the voting reading file? Or the third reading file, or the second reading file?
So the Committee on Rules is still waiting the committee report to be filed. So Senator, if you'd like to move that on the session floor when we are
I would
in
like
session.
to move that to the session floor.
Okay, so we'll address that as soon as the committee report has been filed by COR.
Okay.
Madam Chair, if I may, if that is the GRTA bill, that was the same bill that was put on the agenda in the February and March session?
Yes,
Was that the same one?
That's my understanding, but
Yes,
it's also
that's the
my
same one, but
understanding
there was
that
a-
there was an
There was a
additional public
correction that
hearing.
was needed on
Okay.
that particular bill.
Thank you.
Right, and so we have to reroute it and then have the committee report be filed with COR. So
So
we'll
the-
be anticipating that being placed on the
Okay,
session floor.
As soon as the report is in, right, Madam Chair? Thank
I'm
you.
going to try to push that to be submitted by today.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, if I may. I have Bill number 86-35 COR as amended by the Oversight Chair, an act to add Section 61541F and a new Section 61547, both to Article 5, Chapter 61, Title 21, Guam Code annotated relative to the exterior on-premise signage in H resort zones defining digital signage. And Madam Chair, if I may, the committee report was submitted in yesterday, and but it's still being reviewed. So I'm asking that this body give consideration for it to be placed on the agenda, and I hope it gets placed on.
Sutus Masi, Madam Speaker, and duly noted.
Thank you.
If there are no other bills,
Madam Chair, yes.
Sure. Senator Moylan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd just like for information that I'll be moving on session floor, which is Bill number 5735, COR, is an act to amend subsection 12106G of Chapter 12, Title 17, Guam Code annotated relative to the process of approving or denying charter school petitions. Madam Chair.
Sutus Masi, and duly noted. If there are no other motions to place bills in the second reading file, we'll now consider appointments under legislative concurrence. Senator Shelton, you're recognized.
Sidious Marcy, Madam Chair. From the Committee on Education, Air Transportation, and Statistics and Research and Planning, I move to place the appointment of Ray P. Chargaloff Jr. for member of the Guam Education Board and John T. Birch for member of the Guam Education Board on the session agenda.
Sutus Masi, we'll take them one by one. So for the appointment of Ray Chargaloff, there's been a motion by Senator Shelton. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Senator Moylan. Any objection to the placement of Ray Chargaloff for Department of Education Board?
And
Hearing none, motion carries. Senator Shelton?
Sidious Masi. And from the Committee on Education, Air Transportation, and Statistics, Research and Planning, for member of the Guam Education Board, the appointment of John T. Birch to be placed on the session agenda.
The appointment of John T. Birch to the Education Board has been moved by Senator Shelton. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Senator Moylan. Any objection to the appointment of John T. Birch to be placed on legislative concurrence? Hearing none, motion carries. Senator Shelton.
And for the record, I'd like to note that the committee report for the appointment of Father Francis Heasel to the University of Guam Board of Regents will be filed, and I plan to move it on the session floor. Sidious Masi.
Sutus Masi. Madam Speaker, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If I may, to move for consideration with the recommendation to pass from the Committee of Housing, Senator Joseph Augustine, the appointment of Monica Okada Guzman to serve as a member of the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority Board of Commissioners. Monica Okada for Senator Joseph Augustine.
The Speaker has moved Monica Okada Guzman. Do I hear a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Speaker Barnes and seconded by Senator Moylan. Any objection to the placement of the appointment of Monica Okada Guzman to serve as a member of Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority onto legislative concurrence? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Speaker.
On the appointment, Madam Chair, for Angelina S. Leon Guerrero to serve as a member of the Government of Guam Retirement Fund Board of Trustees, with the recommendation to confirm, I'd ask that it be placed on the session agenda.
Suzus Masi, and that's the appointment of Lena LG to serve.
Angelina, also known as Lena, but
Lena.
Angelina S.
Suzus
Leon Guerrero.
Masi, to serve as a member of the Government of Guam Retirement Fund Board of Trustees. It's been moved by the Speaker.
Second.
Seconded by Senator Moylan. Any objection?
No objection.
Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Speaker.
Madam Chair,
That's all I have right now.
Okay. Senator
I
Pito?
move to place John C. Leon Guerrero for the Board of Directors, Guam Regional Transit Authority, to the session agenda.
Senator Pito, it's my understanding that the committee report for John LG has been received by COR but has not been reported out. So we can entertain this on the floor as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Suzus Masi. And that's
John C. Leon Guerrero.
John C. Leon Guerrero for the GRTA board. So I'll note that. Thank you very much. Senator Rizal?
Also, I'd like to move to place Ms. Faye Valencio Valles as a member of the Board of Directors of Guam Economic Development Authority to the session agenda if the committee report is ready. If not, I'll move that on the floor. So I'd like to make a motion to place that on the session agenda.
Second.
There's been a motion to place the nomination of Feo Valles by Senator Rizal and seconded by Senator Shelton onto legislative concurrence. And this is for the GITA board, correct?
Correct. Guam Economic Development Authority Board of Directors.
Suzus Masi. So there's been a motion by Senator Rizal and seconded by Senator Shelton. Any objection to the appointment of Feo Valles to GITA? Hearing none, motion carries. Senator, anything?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Senator Chitna, go ahead.
On behalf of the Committee on Heritage and the Arts, Parks, Guam Products, Hagatna Revitalization, Self-Determination, and Regional Affairs, I move to place onto the agenda for consideration and onto the legislative concurrence the appointment of Rita Torres Franquez to serve as a member of the Hagatna Restoration and Redevelopment Authority Board of Commissioners.
Suzus Masi, Senator, there's been a motion to place Tenrita Franquez to serve as a member of HRRA by
Second.
Senator Kelly Marsh Taitino, and it's been seconded by Senator Moylan. Any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. Senator?
Yes, I'd also like to place onto the legislative concurrence the appointment of Maria Eugenia Leon Guerrero to serve as a member of Hagatna Restoration and Redevelopment Authority Board of Commissioners, and that's on behalf of the Committee on the Arts, Parks, Guam Products, Hagatna Revitalization, Self-Determination, and Regional Affairs.
Suzus Masi, and there's been a motion to place Maria Eugenia Leon Guerrero also onto the HRRA board by Senator Taitino.
Second.
Seconded by Senator Shelton. Any objection? No objection. Hearing none, motion carries. Senator? Senator Kelly, any other nominations at this time?
I mentioned before that I'm turning in 2 committee reports to COR today.
That's right. So I have Carlos Madrid and Jake Calvo.
Right,
Okay.
right. So just to motion that whether it occurs on the floor or to approve here based on COR approval, to put them onto the agenda.
Suzus Masi, Senator. Any other member wish to be heard? With the placement of these bills in second reading of file and these appointments under legislative concurrence, is there a motion to adopt the session agenda for May 28th, 2019?
So moved.
Moved by Senator Shelton, seconded by Senator Rizal. Any objections for the
No
placement
objection.
of these bills? And, I'm sorry, for the motion to adopt the session agenda? Hearing none, motion carries. In accordance with the standing rules, this agenda will be published within the next 24 hours, and will now move to extension of remarks, so the floor is open for further discussion. Any member wish to be heard? If not, do I hear a motion to adjourn? There's been a motion to adjourn made by Senator Rangel, seconded by Senator Moylan. Any objections? No objections. Hearing none, Sidus Masi for your attendance and participation at today's COR meeting. The time is now 9:10 a.m. and this Committee on Rules meeting is adjourned. Sidus Masi and happy Memorial Day, everyone. Thank you.